What's up, everybody? I hope you are fine. I hope you are doing well. And I would appreciate if you can smash the subscribe button, smash the like button like never before. South Africa 2024 elections. This is what I'm going to talk about because on the 29th of May, South Africa will be holding its elections. So I can hear many people saying vote for change, vote for opposition. So there are a few things that I would like to talk about. So if you are registered to vote there in South Africa, and even if you are living in other countries, as long as you are registered to vote, this message is for you. So I won't tell you which political party you need to vote for, but I'm going to give you some guidelines that will motivate you to vote for the political party that you need to vote for. So I would like to begin by saying I'm not a fan of voting in order to fix my problems. I'm not a fan of saying you need to vote for this person in order to fix your problems. But I've realized that everything you do in life, politics will always affect you. In your business, everywhere you go, you'll always be affected by those who are in power. So I'm not a fan of voting because I've also realized that we don't have leaders who want to serve their communities, who want to serve their nation unconditionally, because most of the people, they just want power. They want to occupy positions so that they can serve themselves. So most of the people want to serve themselves instead of serving their communities, and that's very dangerous. So this thing has demotivated many people. So that is why many people are like, voting is useless, voting is not necessary. I'm not a fan of voting as well, but I know that the government, the very same government that you don't want, will always affect you in your business, in everything that you do. So that is why it is very important to go and vote and do the right thing. And I'm not a fan of people who are like, we need to vote for opposition. Why should we vote for opposition? Because you need to tell us why we need to vote for you. What do you bring on the table? This is something that we need to understand. What do you bring on the table? I don't think we have to vote to hate the ANC or to hate the ruling party. You need to vote because this person is going to give you something in return. This person is going to protect your business. This person is going to protect your interest. This person is going to give you back the dignity you deserve. So you should not vote in the name of like, let's vote for opposition because we want to hate the ANC. Because if we do so, our votes are going to be divided. Because you have to bear in mind that in South Africa, there are more than 25 political parties. There are more than 25 political parties. So if we divide our votes, then we are going to find ourselves in danger. We're going to find ourselves in danger because even if these people have 60% or 65% or 70%, they won't serve their communities. But instead, they'll start fighting amongst each other. Others will pull their votes. Others will bring chaos. Others will do 1, 2, 3. They'll start hiring mayors, firing mayors, doing all sorts of things. So that is why when it comes to voting, you have to vote for someone who will bring back your dignity. What am I talking about? Remember what happened in 1994. 1994 was compromised. But there are people who are like 1994 was a start. If 1994 was a start, people will be living freely now. Right now as we speak, people would be living freely without all these problems and obstacles and etc. So we have to go back in the 1910, 1920, 1925 and etc. during those years and look at the objectives of the ANC, African National Congress. history is very important. One of their objectives, or their primary objectives, it was to free their people from slavery. It was to bring back the dignity of the Africans, the indigenous people. It was to bring back the resources of the country back into the hands of the indigenous people of this country. That was the objective, or the primary objective of the ANC. That is why ANC was formed. So ANC was not fighting for employment. The ANC was not fighting to fill up the potholes, even though those things are important. ANC was not fighting for free education. ANC was fighting for the most important thing that they compromised in 1994. So when you vote, don't just vote for change, vote for opposition. Vote for someone who will free you, someone who will bring back your dignity. And again, bear in mind, because some people are going around telling people that we only have certain people who fought for freedom. Millions and millions of your forefathers fought for South Africa. This is what you need to keep it in mind. Millions and millions. Some people fought when they were in exile. Some people fought when they were around in South Africa by forming some demonstrations and all those things. Some fought in their workplaces. So these people fought in different ways. Your forefathers fought for freedom in different ways. Millions and millions of people. And they put their trust upon ANC. So the reason they put their trust upon ANC is because they had hope that ANC was going to deliver them from slavery. So don't vote for all these other political parties who are promising you jobs, to fill up potholes, to give you good roads, free education, and etc. Yes, free education is important, and all these other things are important, but you cannot build upon a cracked foundation. You have to fix the foundation first. So once the foundation is all right, then you can start building. You cannot build upon injustices. 1994 was compromised. That is why when you ask some of these leaders of ANC, you ask them, what did you fight for? They can't even answer this simple question. Why? Because deep down in their hearts, they know very well that 1994 was compromised. If 1994 was a start, people would be free by now. If 1994 was a start. So I'm not forcing you not to vote these new political parties, because some of these political parties are there to divide the vote of the Africans, or to divide the vote of the indigenous people, because afterwards they'll start fighting against themselves. You need to be careful. You need to be careful. So it's very important for you to go out there and say, you know what, right now I need to vote, because voting is your voice. It's when you say, right now I've gotten an opportunity to say something. Because sometimes if you go to these, not even sometimes, in most cases, if you go to these government offices, municipal offices, if you call these mayors and councillors, they're not even ready. They're not even ready to listen to you. They only come when it's time for you to vote for them. That is why sometimes when you see these people around, you ask yourself, should we vote, or what's going on? Because you don't see them like that amongst the people. They are not serving people wholeheartedly. Most of these people, they are there just to serve themselves. They are there just to feed themselves, not to take care of their community. So we only have few people who have a zeal to serve their communities unconditionally. So if you are going to vote, you need to vote for someone who will fix the errors of ANC in 1994. Why? Because we cannot build upon a cracked foundation. There's no way we can build upon a cracked foundation. So that is why you need someone who will say, I'm ready to fix these errors, the mistakes of ANC. So all these things, such as potholes, free education, and etc., they'll fix themselves as time goes by. And again, when you vote for that kind of a change, you have to be ready for struggle, because it's not easy. You have to understand what is happening right now in Burkina Faso. You have to learn from what is happening in Burkina Faso. But the people on the ground are zealous to say, no matter what happens, we are ready for struggle. So you need someone who can say, now I'm ready to say, you know what, let's bring the resources back into the hands of the people. We have to deal with these injustices. You don't need someone who will compromise. You don't need someone who will compromise. You need someone who has good leadership qualities, who has love for people, but at the same time, who is determined to take actions. These are kinds of people that we need as a country in South Africa. You need someone who will say, I'm ready to do what? I'm ready to bring change. I'm ready to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G in order to free my people. These are the kinds of people you need. So when you vote, you need to make sure that you vote with understanding. You vote with understanding of where we come from. Because it's not only Nelson Mandela who fought for freedom. It's not only Steve Biko who fought for freedom. Millions and millions of people fought for freedom. And they were not fighting for employment. They were not fighting for free education. These things are important right now as we speak. But we have to go back and ask ourselves, what are these people were fighting for? What were they fighting for? They were fighting for freedom. Here is the other thing that I would like to talk about. More than 40% of the people in South Africa are not working. Some people are like, let's just give them grace and say it's 32%, 33%, or 34% on the internet. But I still believe that it's close to 40, or 50%. So just imagine if the majority of the country is not working. Just imagine if the majority of the country is not working, what is going to happen? It means the system of the country is going to be under pressure. And there's no way you can relieve it. There's no way you can solve it. You have to deal with the pressure. So how do you deal with the pressure? You have to fix the foundation, because this unemployment that we're living in right now is as a result of the cracked foundation. So you need someone who can say, I want to fix this foundation. I want to fix these cracks so that I can serve my people wholeheartedly and unconditionally. Because if the country is under pressure, there's going to be poverty. In other words, unemployment causes poverty. Just imagine if 20 million of people in the country are not working. You are going to have poverty. Most definitely, you are going to have poverty. So as a result of poverty, then your crime rate is going to increase. Why? Because every time when people struggle, when people suffer, when people don't have anything to eat, they are more than likely to commit crime. They'll definitely involve themselves in crime because they cannot stay without food. That is why if we want to reduce the crime rate in South Africa, you need one thing. You need to deal with the cracks. You need to deal with the cracks that are in the foundation, because the foundation is not good at all, because you cannot build upon a cracked foundation. So it means if you cannot build upon a cracked foundation, you have to fix the foundation. Then if you fix the foundation, then the poverty will fix itself. Poverty thing will fix itself. Unemployment thing will fix itself. Then We'll start having those opportunities whereby we can have like free education and all those things. Because we have to remember that your forefathers didn't fight for a free education, a grant, and all those things, even though they are important. But we have to go back to the foundation and ask ourselves, what are these eras of ANC that we need to deal with? Because poverty will always cause crime. So don't deal with the symptoms, because if you deal with the symptoms, even if you can hire 1 million police, it won't work. Why? Because there's poverty. Poverty will always increase the crime in any country. If the country has a problem of poverty, you have to know that that particular country might also have a problem of crime. So these are the things that you need to keep it in mind while you make your decision about which political party you need to vote for. This is serious and this is important. So who should you vote for? Who should you vote for? I want to emphasize on this one. You need to vote for someone. You need to vote for someone who is ready to deal with the cracks. This is the person that you need. You need someone who is accountable, like Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. You need someone who loves his people more than money, someone who cannot be bribed. This is the person you want in power. Someone who say, I will bring change. I'm going to deal with these cracks intentionally and without compromising, without any compromise. So these are the types of leaders we need. This is my honest opinion, and I'm not forcing anyone to vote based on my opinions or vote based on my ideas. I'm just advising. I would appreciate if you can smash the subscribe button, smash the like button like never before.